Yes, very good. Sorry for the delay. Um, uh, uh, I- I- from our class, anyone belongs to Delhi? Ankit, anyone from Delhi? Ankit?
Delhi's, I guess.
Yes, because today we'll discuss about the air pollution. Probably the people from Delhi can suffer a lot due to smog, and it would be better to have a conversation with the people who are all in and around Delhi. Anyway, we'll first we'll target
Like
the content.
after
It will,
Delhi, sir, my city Patna is more second most populated, polluted, sir,
yes, 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 yes,
in terms of air pollution.
yes. Yes. Check whether my slides are visible.
Yes, sir.
Whether it is visible.
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Yes. Yes, there are two different slides. I'll parallelly I'll go through it, and we'll start today's session. That is air pollution. Today we are facing there are a number of issues due to air pollution. See, the scenario is entirely drastic due to the pandemic. The particulates or the minor particulates are traveled through air. That we are suffering a lot during this pandemic. These COVID virus are transferring through air. Hence, this title is a prominent title in recent days. And first, we'll target the air pollution, which is available in the syllabus. Then, if time permits, we'll discuss about these happenings. That is the recent happenings related to COVID, and that is the air pollutions. Air pollution. Yes, the chemicals and particles in the environmental might be called as in the when it was affected by the surroundings, that might be the air pollution, the air pollution, which has become a global phenomena. The phenomenon manifest inevitable consequences in the surrounding environment due to the massive growth in the industrial development in almost all the countries. And the air pollution causes drastic change in the quality of an environment, thereby producing serious health hazard affecting the human society. The seriousness of the dangerous effect of air pollution has reached the highest peak that has inevitably attracted the attention of the environmentalists to focus on the control measures of managing the problem of ever increasing air pollution. And the contents related to air pollution we will target today. And the presence of one or more contaminants like dust, smoke, mist, and odor in the atmosphere, which are injurious to human being, even for plant and animal, and which transfers the harmful the under of natural synthetic materials into the atmosphere as direct or indirect consequences of human activity. And the sources of air pollution, and how we can reduce the air pollution, and some examples related to the reduction of air pollution. That is our today's plan. And see, the natural sources like volcanic eruptions, wildfire, or allergens, or the natural source of air pollution. But the major concern is due to the human activity, whether it might be agricultural or due to the burning of the fossil fuel, the emission of carbon dioxide or nitrous oxide or methane or fluorinated gases causes greenhouse effects. So the anthropogenic sources is the major cause for the air pollution when compared with the natural source. And see how these various troposphere and mesosphere thermospheres are affected by the air pollution. Uh, see, we know, we are well aware that the atmosphere is full of nitrogen, oxygen, and some other impurities, right? Like argon, xenon, neon, and hydrogen. And these, when the system is entirely affected and there is a drastic change in this the environmental um, statistics, that we are concerning as air pollution. When there is a drastic change with the equilibrium, when there is a sudden change with the equilibrium, that we are concerning, that we are trying to reduce with the various factors. And we need to we should have conscious over these equilibrium, environmental equilibrium. That is what our concern. And as I said earlier, there are two different categories. One is the primary pollutant, or it might be called as natural source, whether it might be the volcanic eruption or wildfire or allergens. And the secondary pollutants, pollutant may be caused by the human activities. And these are the primary pollutant and the secondary pollutant. And based on the pollutant, it might be categorized as primary and secondary, like the volatile organic components, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and particulate matter and lead may be called categorized as primary pollutant. And the secondary pollutant like nitric acid, sulfur dioxide, and ozone is categorized as secondary pollutant. And the aerosol, the sources, the natural sources and the man-made. And there are these two. When what we can concern about the human activities. We cannot do anything over with volcanic eruptions and wildfire, and we can have a conscious over these human activities. That is our major concern. And air pollutant, as I said earlier, the substance occurring in the atmosphere that may have adverse effects on humans, animals, plant life, and or inanimate materials, even inanimate materials, which causes an adverse effect, or called as an air pollutant. The pollutant have known or suspected harmful effect on human health and environment. There are primary and secondary pollutants. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrous oxide are categorized as primary pollutant. And in the secondary pollutant, we have and there are a few secondary pollutant is also presented here. And there are the primary air pollutant are categorized into five way, in five different way. The carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, nitrogen oxide, and hydrocarbon and particulate matter. And we will discuss one by one. Carbon monoxide, which produced by burning of the organic material, whether it might be a coal gas or wood or trash. And the automobile is the major source for this carbon monoxide. And even the cigarette smoke is the major source. And the toxics, which reduces the hydrogen in the blood due to the blending with the hemoglobin, and not a persistent pollutant, which combines with oxygen to form CO2. And the most communities now meet the Environmental Protection Agency. Now we are the major countries which causes the air pollutions, having the standards based on Environmental Protection Agency. But during rush hour traffic can produce high CO level, and the carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, and toxic gas. Carbon monoxide is mainly produced by incomplete combustion of the fossil fuels and also by the industrial emission. The several environmental studies have firmly demonstrated the major contribution of CO comes from motor vehicles in urban areas. The abnormal concentration of CO produces detrimental the effect of human beings by reducing the O2 carrying capacity of the hemoglobin molecules in the blood. The hemoglobin molecules, which possess a greater affinity for CO, readily bind with the CO to form carboxyhemoglobin compound, thereby heavily reducing the total availability of the O2 to tissue in the body. This may lead to the oxygen deficiency that would affect the brain and even for cardiac function. The concentration of the carbon monoxide above 60 percentage of carbohemoglobin compound is found to cause the complete loss of conscious called cerebral coma, and even death by further prolongation of the exposure of CO. So, which is a very dangerous pollutant. And the second one is sulfur dioxide, and the which is produced by burning of the fossil fuel like coal and oil, and the power plant might be the major source of sulfur dioxide, and it reacts in atmosphere to produce acids, which is the major source for acid rain. The 25 percentage of sulfur dioxide or formed from the emission of the fossil fuel and combustion in the industry, and around 3% of the sulfur oxide originated from the highway vehicle. Around 25% or sulfur oxides are emitted by the industries, and around 3% of sulfur oxides are originated from the highway vehicles. And the sulfur emissions from non-combustion sources include the industries associated with the petroleum refining, copper melting, and cement manufacturing processes. And these sulfur oxides in combustion with the particulate matter, I didn't reveal about the particulate matter, and I'll tell you about the particulate matter, which produce the detrimental synergic effect, thus causing excess human mortalities, paint discoloration, metal corrosion, and weakening of organic fibers are caused by the sulfur pollutant in atmospheric air. And the third air pollutant, major pollutant, is nitrogen oxide, and which is produced from burning of the fossil fuel, which contributes to the acid rain and the smog, which create the smog. And the automobile engines might be the major source, and the newer technologies which due to the various design changes and various influences, various other affiliates, other chemical replacement products. Now we are trying to reduce these pollutant, but what happens in recent energy scenario in India is actually different. They are trying to they are already banned the manufacturing of the vehicles related to the petrochemicals, and the central government and wants to increase the manufacturing of the electrical vehicles, and they are advising switch over of these conventional vehicles into the electrical vehicles. And the nitric and nitrogen dioxide, which are the important air pollutant that are caused by the thermal and fuel source. And although entry cause the colorless gas is not known to cause any adverse health hazard, the oxidation of NO to NO2 produce pulmonary irritation and inflammation, thus manifesting disorders such as the pneumonia and other respiratory infections. Yes. And the next one is hydrocarbon, and the fourth one is hydrocarbon. And yes, Ankit, tell me to which state, and Ankit? Ankit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You belongs to which state?
I belong to Bihar. Patna.
Bihar. Yes, anyone from Bihar? Anyone from Bihar?
Bihar, sir.
Bihar.
Yes, sir. I am here.
Sir, there are four
Yes,
students
because
who are from Bihar, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes, because you tell me due to smog, what are the major issues happening in Bihar? Due to smog, which creates the adverse. What are the adverse effect of smog?
Sir, I don't know much, but yes, in the morning it may cause accidents due to smog.
Okay,
I
okay.
guess that's one of the major problems. And second, it may create health-related issues like a smog contains some harmful pollutants also. So they may affect lungs and other things.
Yes. Yes, anyone suffered a lot apart from Vikas and Ankit, and if it is your area, it might be very near to Delhi or Bihar, and anyone suffered a lot due to this smog or any other air pollutant by
Yes.
any other mean, have you affected a lot? Nitish, Nitish Kumar, Nitish Kumar, Bonat Nitish Kumar. Gaurav, Gaurav,
Hello. Yes.
Gaurav, your belongs to which state, Gaurav?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Gaurav, your belongs to which state?
I'm from Maharashtra, sir.
Have you come across any air pollution like smog?
Uh, sir, I live in Konkan region here, near coastal area. So here it's more green. There is no such pollution. Here the environment is really calm and green. I have been to Mumbai some many times. Mumbai is quite polluted.
Okay. To reduce these air.
Hello, sir. I can't hear you, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Yes, do you have any suggestion for the reduction of the air pollutants?
Um, uh, we can plant more trees. I think that's really important. And to reduce more air pollution, we must use the even odd method like on even days you should only drive the vehicles, or you can reduce the number of vehicles on the road by carpooling or using public transport, etc.
Okay. By reducing the number of vehicles, you are concerning about automobile. Okay, good. And the major concern about the industries.
Yes,
How
industries.
we can use the industrial pollutant.
Uh, we can restrict the time of means, during, like, we can tell the industry to run only from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., something like that. We can restrict its time.
Okay. Then
And
good. We can at our end or at the government end, what they can do, they can rigidly, they can keenly watch the regulations.
yeah,
That's
yes,
yes, yes. There are the various acts, guidelines related to the reduction of air pollutions are made by central government, that they can keenly, they can watch and they can advise, and even they can take stringent action against the companies which doesn't follows the guidelines. That in that way we can reduce the air pollution. Good. Anyway, good, Gaurav.
yes.
And your
Thank
belongs
you.
to
Yes, thank you, sir.
the coastal area. Which coastal area belongs to?
Konkan region, sir.
Okay.
Konkan region in
Fine.
Maharashtra.
What was the name of your native place?
I'm from Ratnagiri, sir. Ratnagiri
Ratnagiri.
district in Maharashtra. Yes,
Ratnagiri district. Okay.
yes.
Taluk.
And Taluka Khed, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
So here the
Okay.
Konkan region and Mumbai are now currently on high alert due to heavy rain from 9 to 13th.
9 to 13.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Oh. Now raining. Now it is raining.
Now it was raining from last night. Like it was from 3 to till now. It was continuous. Now it is not raining yet. But yesterday Mumbai was on high alert, and Mumbai actually so many places was filled with water. Yes.
Yes. See, this is high alert of the environmental changes.
Yes.
And what happened? We were occupied the various rivers and the water sources, and we are unable to handle these floods. And even when there is an minimal amount of rain, also we are unable to handle these water.
Yes. It is major problem in Mumbai.
Yes. How long you are from Mumbai?
From Mumbai to my place, I think it is for like 200 kilometers something.
200. Good.
Yes.
Okay, Gaurav, very good. Very good.
Thank you,
We will
sir.
continue the fourth air pollutant, and fees will discuss at the end.
Sir,
Yes. For the
sir,
yes, Ankit.
today we have Arun Prabhakar's birthday, sir.
Yes, that is what you need to discuss during beginning itself. Arun Prabhakar.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Arun, any more
yes, sir.
happy birthday, Arun?
Thank you so much, sir.
Arun, you are belongs to which state, Arun?
Sir, Tamil Nadu, sir.
Yeah, தமிழ்நாடு எந்த ஊர் நீங்க?
Tirutani, sir.
திருத்தணி. Okay, திருத்தணி ஒன்றும் issues இல்லை. Tirutani, it is very nearer to
Chennai.
Andhra, right?
Yes, sir. Nearly
Andhra.
half kilometer only, sir.
Oh,
My village is border.
Right. What was the name of that border place, Arun?
Sir, my village name is Ammayar Kuppam.
Ammayar Kuppam. Very good. Is one engineering college in Andhra in that same lineage which connects the Tirthani and the what was the name of that engineering college?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Okay. I have attended interview one fine day. I have attended interview, and it was very nice. The area was very nice, and there won't be, I think there won't be any issues with the pollutions. Tirthani is very nice. Anyway, wishes Arun Pibhar. Yes, you go ahead. You wish your friend. Others, Ankit, what was the first class? Ankit,
Birthday, Arun.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
what was the first class? 8:30. 8:30. Do you have any classes?
No, sir. Our classes start from 9:30 only.
9:30 only. Okay, fine, fine. You can wish your friend.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Arun.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Arun.
Birthday, Arun.
Happy birthday.
Nandrida.
Happy birthday, Arun.
Thank you,
Happy
sir.
birthday, Arun.
Happy birthday, Arun.
Thank you.
I think yes, if you are all in your in your NIT mean it is a different scenario, but it is very hard to run these days. Anyway, sharing the wishes on behalf of entirely different by wishing like these portals, whether it might be MS Team or Google Meet or any other portal. I think you people that is in the last 2 years are the people stacking and they are stacking and they are fighting with these technological inventions, whether it might be a laptop or it might be a mobile phone. Anyway, the humanism is very important, and when once everything resumed, you have a cordial relation, and that is well and good. That is better. Once these pandemic are over, and try to build a very good relationship with all among your friends, and build a very strong cordial relationship. Okay, fine, good. We'll continue the fourth pollutant, that is hydrocarbon, and the organic component of you know very well about it, that is which is an organic compound with hydrogen and carbon, and the incomplete burning or evaporated from the fuel supplies. The major source is automobile, but some industries also contributing a lot in hydrocarbon production. The which is hydrocarbon which contributes to smoke, and the improvements in the engine design have helped to reduce these hydrocarbons emission. And the hydrocarbon that belong to the volatile organic compound and are mostly formed from decomposition of organic matter, and also by the point trees which causes the hydrocarbon emission. While major source of hydrocarbon are caused by the industrial emission, the minor source of hydrocarbon are resulted by the fossil fuel combustion in the power plant and the boilers. And the last one is the particulates, that is suspended particulate matter, and the small pieces of solid matters, or it might be liquid droplets, which size belongs to 2.5 mm to 10 mm, and even these see even when we can discuss with the micrometer, that is particulate matter primarily consists of suspended or dispersed uh, matter, solid matter, or it might be liquid particle, which is even the 10 micrometer, called as an aerosol, and the ash from the fire, or asbestos from brakes and insulation dust, and the which can be accumulated in lungs and interfere with the ability of lungs to exchange the gases, and which restricts the exchange of gas in the lungs, and so even it might be cause some causes for the cancerous, and so we need to be very cautious with the particles, and the this is what and there are some other pollutant is also available, like lead and other components, and we'll discuss one by one. The secondary pollutant like the ozone, pan, that is peroxyacetyl nitrate, the photochemical smog, the aerosol and mist are the secondary pollutant, and we'll discuss one by one. That is the ozone, which is highly reactive gas composed of three oxygen atoms. It is both an man-made product that occurs in the Earth, upper atmosphere, that is stratosphere, and even in the lower atmosphere, that is troposphere. And we know which is colorless in sometimes, or faintly blue, unstable, even dissoluble, which is having the chlorine-like odor, and formed in the upper atmosphere by the action of solar radiation on the oxygen. At ground level, it is formed by the combustion of hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxides in the presence of sunlight, and is the main ingredient of smog. And the pan, this is not a permanent account number. This is the pan which is related to air pollution, that is peroxyacetyl nitrate. The smog is caused by the interaction of some hydrocarbons and the oxidants under the influence of sunlight, giving the rise of dangerous pan. The petrochemical smog, which is formed when the primary pollutant reacts with the ultraviolet. As we discussed, the primary pollutant, whether it might be the carbon monoxide, or the oxides of nitrogen, or it might be hydrocarbon, or it might be sulfur dioxide, or it might be a lead. When it was reacted with ultraviolet light to create the variety of toxic and reactive, and that is what the petrochemical smog. And the third one is the aerosol and mist. The aerosol and mist are very fine liquid droplets that cannot be effectively removed by using traditional scrubbers, and we are going to discuss about these scrubbers, that is traditional scrubber. And these droplet can be formed from gas phase hydrolysis, and hydrolysis of the halogenated acids, metal halides, and organohalides, and sulfur dioxide, and phosphorus pentoxide. And the only and non-living beings, how the air pollution affects over these living organisms. The human health effect, and the exposure to air pollution is associated with the numerous effects on human health, including pulmonary, cardiac, vascular, and neurological impairments. The children are at greater risk because they are greatly more active in outdoors, and their lungs are still in developing stage. The health effect very greatly from person to person. The health effects are vary from person to person. The high risk groups, such as the elderly, infant, pregnant women, and suffers from the chronic heart and lung diseases, are more susceptible to the air pollution. The exposure to air pollution can cause both acute and chronic health effect, and the effect on human respiratory system. Both gases and particulate air pollutants have negative effects on the lungs. Solid particulates can settle on walls of the trachea and bronchis. The continuous breathing of polluted air can slow the normal clenching action of the lungs, and results in more particulates reaching the lower portion of the lungs, and which damage lungs from the air pollution can inhibit this process and contribute to the occurrence of the various diseases. And the sources, health, and welfare effects of criteria pollutant, that is carbon monoxide. We know the properties, which is colorless, odorless, and gas, which can contribute to the formation of the smoke. The sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen dioxide contributes to the formation of smoke, acid rain, water quality reduction, global warming, and visibility impairment. The ocean, which causes the plant and ecosystem damage, and lead affects the animal and plant affects the ecosystem, and the particulate matter, that is PM, visibility impairment, atmospheric deposition, or the effects of these particulate matter. And the air pollutions can be settled by settling chamber. Yes, I'll rush up with the content, that is the air pollution, which can be controlled by the various mechanism. One among the mechanism is settling chamber. The settling chamber use the force of gravity to remove the solid particles. The gas stream enters a chamber where the velocity of the gas is reduced, and the large particle drop out of the gas and are recollected in the hoppers, because settling chamber are effective in removing only large particles. They are used in conjunction with more efficient control device. And see, the dirty gas enters, and the clean gas is the output of these gravity settling chamber. We have dust hoppers, and the dust hoppers collects the dusters and leaves the clean gases. And the cyclones, the dust laden gas is whirled rapidly inside a collector shaped like a cylinder or cyclone. We see the various nomenclatures, that is tangential inlet duct, dust gas inlet here, and the gas flow path. We have vertex, the finder tube, and the cleaned gas out, and the dust collected at the bottom, and the clean gas or leave at the top portions. And this swirling motion creates the centrifugal force that causes the particles to thrown against the wall of the cylinder and drop into the hopper below. And see, when there is a centrifugal force, what happens? It try to throw away the particles, and these unwanted particles are hit in the wall. And so that what happens when it was hit by the continuous subsequent particles, it slowly settles down at the bottom, and the clean water goes out, and the gas left in the middle of the cylinder after the dust particles have been removed and moves upward and exits the cylinder. And the cyclone operate to collect relatively large size particulate matter from the gaseous stream, and can operate at elevated temperatures. And these cyclones are typically used for the removal of particles which is related to 50 microns, or even it is larger. The efficiency is greater than 90% for particle size of 10 microns or greater or possible, and efficiency increases exponentially with the particle diameter and with increased pressure drop through the cyclone. And the fabric filters. The fabric filter also commonly referred to as baghose, or used in many industrial applications. See, we have the vibrator, the filter bags. There are various filter bags, and the dust air entered here, and it was surrounded by the filtered bags, and the clean air sent out, and the dust collected at the bottom like hopper arrangement, and it was sent out. They operate in a manner similar to that of the household vacuum cleaner. The dust laden gas pass through the fabric bags, where what we are trying to do, we are trying to filter those with the various bags, and the dust settle down at the bottom. This is what happening in the fabric filters. And the common material for these filters include paper, cotton, inox, polyester, and Teflon, and the other stainless steels are used as in fabric filters. And the electrostatic precipitators, now we are concerning about the ESPs in various hospitals, and due to this pandemic, and ESPs are relatively large. And this is the a typical example for ESP. We have the smoke particle pickup here, and it was settled at the wall surface, and it was the flow of the smoke particles is vertical in the first diagram, left diagram, and it was horizontal in the right side. We have the dirty air entry here, and it was pre-filtered with the filter, and we have the ionizer, which separates the positive ion and the negative ion. It was collected by the collector, it was settled down, and the clean air sent out. So this is what happening in the ESPs. And see here some artificial different illustration. The smoke particles pick up a negative charge, and the negatively charged metal grid, and the waste gases containing these smoke particles is entered here. And see here the positive charged collecting plate, and the waste gas without smoke particles sent out. And the which transformers are used to develop extremely high voltage drops between the charging electrode and the collecting plates. The electrical field production in the gas stream as it passes through the high voltage discharge introduce a charge on the particles, which is then attracted to the collecting plates. Periodically, the collected dust is removed from the collecting plate by the hammer device, striking that the top plate wrapping that is dislodging the particulate, which falls at the bottom of the hopper, and then it was removed. The ESPs are used in many of the same applications as baghouse, including power plants, steels and paper mills, and cement plants and other refineries. And we have the absorption. This was the end portion of our air pollution. That is absorption and adsorption. And absorption is the process in which the gaseous pollutant is dissolved in the liquid, and as the gas stream passes through the liquid absorbs the gas in much the same way that sugar is absorbed in the gas. Glass of water when still, when during making with our coffee or tea, what we are trying to do, we are trying to stir, and what happens, we know the mechanism of salt and solvent. Similarly, it happens. The absorbers are often referred to as the scrubbers, and there are various types of absorption equipment. The principal types of gas absorption equipment include spray tower, packed column, spray chamber, and venture scrubber. One potential problem with the absorption is generation of wastewater, which converts an air pollution problem to the water pollution problem. And how we can reduce the water pollution, that we will discuss in the subsequent slide and the subsequent presentation. The adsorption, the collection here, the collection might be called as an adsorption. And see, when the gases or vapor is brought into contact with the solid, the part of it is taken up by the solid, and the molecule that disappears from the gas either enter the inside of the solid or remain on the outside attached to the surface. The former phenomena is absorption. The earlier what we were discussed is absorption, and here it was called as an adsorption. The most common industrial adsorbent or activated carbon or the silica gel and the alumina, because they have enormous surface area per unit weight, which is activated carbon, is the universal standard of purification and removal of trace organic contaminants from the liquid and vapor streams. And see, this is what the absorption, and this is what the adsorption, and the clean air sent out through the chimney. And that's all about the air pollution. And do you have any clarification? Do you need any clarification? Any clarifications? Sai Ranga? Sai? Santosh? Santosh?
No, sir.
Santosh, what we can do with the ESP?
Sir,
What we can do with the ESP? What was the abbreviation of ESP?
I
Santosh, had your breakfast?
not it, sir.
Not yet. Why, man? Already it was 10:30. For tomorrow's class, before attending the class, you should have your breakfast. And in the tomorrow's class, you please detail what is happening in the ESP. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, tomorrow 10:30 we'll meet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.